Today we will discuss about key features of Indian Constitution. So as I told you, Constitution of India was been adopted on 26th November 1949 and came into force from 26th January 1950. So there are some key elements in the Indian Constitution which are also called as basic structure, means basic, very basic, like basic character of you, basic character of me. There will be some basic things which cannot be changed. Whatever you do, it cannot be changed. How much ever you try, you cannot change. Those are called as basic things. Similarly, the Constitution have some basic things, basic structures, which are inherited into it, which are embedded into it, and that constitute the Constitution. That is called as Constitution. The Constitution is big because of those characteristics. So these are the key features. So 8th class student is going to understand those key features of the Constitution. Other than that, other features also there, but 8th class student, small, he is putting into the mind. So one of the first key feature is federalism. Federalism means the division of power between the union and the states. The division of power between the union and the states means there will be a union, there will be a state. There will be a union, there will be a province. There will be a union, there will be a province. Union at the central level, province at the state level. So there is proper division of powers. It is not only about arrangement, it is not only about structure, like union and the state. See, don't think about local self-government, don't think about Panchayati Raj, don't think about municipal body. That is called as third tier. But federalism means only two structure. Whenever any time in the future, if you discuss about federalism, it means it is talking about union government and state government, not local governments, not local panchayat, not urban panchayat or urban administration. It is only about central government and state government together is called as federal features. Together is called as federal feature, federalism. So federalism is that particular aspect whereby the country has been divided into two administrative systems. One administrative system is called as Union of India, other administrative system is called as state, whereby there is proper division of powers between the union and the state. What is proper division of powers, sir? For example, defense will be under the control of central government. Foreign affairs will be under the control of central government. Communications will be under the control of central government. Railways will be under the control of central government. Fixed. So any decision should be made for this particular defense or communication or for railways should be made only by the central government, whereby police, agriculture, land related issues, agriculture, police related issues can be made only by the state government. Central government will have no power on making laws on state police. Central government will not have any powers on land which is present in the state. Central government will not have any powers with respect to the state issues. So there is proper demarcation of powers. Means like you and me, if you are my subordinate. So some powers will be given to you. Everything I cannot do. I am a human being, I am also. So some powers will be vested in you, some powers will be vested in me. But here, state is not subordinate to you. You are also independent, I am also independent. I will give you some powers, I will have some powers. You should not enter into my powers, I will not enter into my powers. Why? Because union and state are not subordinates. Union and state are partners in India. They are partners. So, you are not my employee, you are not my subordinate, you are partners. We are sharing the powers. You are also having the power, I am also having. Partners will have the powers or he will listen to the other person. Powers. So, the central government and the state governments are partners. The central government and state government will be sharing the powers. That particular sharing of powers independently between the center and the state is called as federalism, whereby the state is not subordinate to the center or center is not superior to the state. Both are independent powers. The Constitution has demarcated the independent functions between the center and the state. So that center will not involve into the state things, state will not involve into the center things. You are independent, he is independent. So center is having independent powers, state is having independent. That particular demarcation of powers is called as federalism. It is mentioned in, this is mentioned in 7th schedule of the constitution. So schedule means in the constitution, one book is there, in that book articles are there, 1, 2, like this one book is there. In this particular book, what they did, they wrote articles, article 1, article 2, article 3, article 3, 395 in the original constitution. Now it became 450. This is called as constitution. Then what they did, so sometimes for books there will be some additional notes, no? So those notes are called as schedules. Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, additional auxiliary material for the constitution. It is also part of constitution, but auxiliary material means which is giving support to the constitution, which is giving evidence to the constitution. So I cannot mention each and every point. So I provided auxiliary notes. That auxiliary notes is called as schedules. In that auxiliary notes means extra notes, 7th is 7th schedule, means 7th booklet is called as 7th schedule. In that 7th schedule, they clearly mentioned that these are the powers of union government, these are the powers of state government, these are the powers congruent, means whereby center can do as well as state can do. Center can do as well as state can do. That particular powers are demarcated in 7th schedule of the constitution. Prelims point of view. The original principle of federalism is present where? 7th schedule of the constitution, whereby the powers are divided between the center, state as well as concurrent. Those features where center can make the laws and state can make the laws. For example, wildlife protection. For example, weights and measures, where the center can make the powers, state can make the powers. Forests, whereby the center can make the powers, state can make the powers. So in that way, that particular division of powers between the center and the state is called as federalism. If you understand this point is also enough and more. So there is center, there is state. So state is not subordinate to center. So center is independent, state is independent. For that reason, the Constitution of India has demarcated some powers whereby those will be done by central government, some will be done by state government. But however, few will be done by both. That particular division of powers between the union and the state is called as federalism. That structural arrangement is called as federalism. The concept is called as federation and the division is called as federalism. Second is parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government. So, several varieties of governments we can form. Government is nothing but who is going to rule the people is called as government. Government is nothing but who is going to rule the people are called as government. So, various forms of governments are there. We discussed in 6th class NCERT. Democratic form, oligarchy form, monarchical form, military form. These all are various systems who will be working for the people, who will be ruling the people. That particular form of governments are varieties. So we adopted presidential form is there, parliamentarian form is there, in democratic there is presidential form is there, there is parliamentary form is there. In the presidential form, we think it is not suitable, that is different story. So presidential form, it is not suitable to India. So we adopted what model? Parliamentary form of government. So second important feature which is present in the constitution is parliamentary form of government. What is parliamentary form of government, sir? Parliamentary form of government means the people who are going to rule are not directly elected by the people. The persons who are going to rule the country are not directly elected by the people. So there will be one house. In that house, some people will be sitting, and those people will be elected by the people. And the people who got elected and came into that house people will be having one person as a majority person. That person is going to rule the country. And then he is going to choose his own team, which is called as Council of Minister. So government is nothing but Council of Minister headed by Prime Minister. So government is what? Government is Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister in the center. Council of Ministers headed by Chief Minister. State is called as government. You should get clarity. Some people, bureaucrats also, they will forget to use these words. Means these words as it is should come. Government means what, sir? Government means not chief minister. Government means not parliament. Government is not president. Government means council of ministers headed by chief minister here, prime minister there. That is called as government. So parliamentary form of government. In the parliamentary form of government, we have indirect election. People will be indirectly elected. Means rulers will be indirectly elected. How, sir? So country will be divided into constituencies. Yes or no? Now elections are happening for that only. Country is divided into constituencies. 545 constituencies are been divided. 545 constituencies has been divided. From every constituency, one person will be standing as a member of parliament. And the people of that constituency will be choosing him. The people of that constituency will be choosing him. The people of that constituency will be choosing them. Who got elected, they will come into the house. So people who are coming into the house will be mainly based upon parties. So parliamentary form of government is also called as party form of government. Another name for parliamentary form of government is what? Party form of government. It is the party who will be coming into the power. We will tell BJP party or not. We will tell Congress party or not. So parliamentary form of government, another name is called as party form of government. So whose party members are majority, that party will be choosing among them as the leader of that party in that house. So that party who is majority will become the ruler of the country. He will be called as prime minister, or she will be called as prime minister. Then the prime minister will be having the power to make his own team. The team is called as council. So Indian government, Indian form of government is indirect elections. The government is formed by indirect elections, not by direct elections, whereby the president of America or the president of Russia will be directly elected by the people. People will choose for Narendra Modi. People, we have what? Flower. So we will place button on flower or we will place button on hand. There will be a button on Narendra Modi, there will be button on other. So like him, there will be symbol. So individual based elections will be happening in America, whereas party based elections will be happening in India. Yes or no? So that particular form of government is called as parliamentary form of government. Separation of powers. The third important thing is separation of powers. Separation of powers. So there are separation of powers. As I told you earlier, you are having your power, I am having my power. So whether there will be any conflicts? No. If I enter into your power, if I enter into your territory, you will tell that, hey, this is my territory, why you are coming, then I will go back. If you are coming into my territory, I will tell, you told me not to come, then why you are coming means again you will go. So that is called as proper separation of powers. You do this, I will do this. You don't come into my ambit, I will not come into your ambit. That particular concept is called as separation of powers. So in India we have separation of powers. Like what? Like legislature, who will be making the laws. చట్టాలు చేసే వాళ్ళని లెజిస్లేచర్స్ అంటారు. లెజిస్లేచర్స్ who will make the laws. Laws means what, sir? Rules. How the country should run. They will make a law. That law will be made by whom? The people's representatives sitting in parliament. That body name is called as legislature. They made rules. They made law. Someone should implement, no? Legislatures made a law. So it's only about making, it's also about implementing. You made a schedule. Early morning 4 o'clock I will get up. One person early morning 2 o'clock I will get up. I will sleep at 1:30 and I will get up at 2 a.m. But real time get up at 10 o'clock. Then again I thought to get up at 2 o'clock. I got up at 10 o'clock next day. So there is also not only about making the policy, it is also about implementing the laws. So implementation of the laws will be made by whom? Executive. So these people, very important, these people will make only laws. ఇలా ఉండాలి, ఇలా చేయాలి, ఇది చేయాలి, ఇలా చేయాలి, ఇలా చేయకపోతే ఇలాంటి పనిష్మెంట్ వస్తుంది అని కండిషన్స్ రాసే వాళ్ళు ఎవరు? లెజిస్లేచర్స్. వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ బీన్ రిటన్, హూ విల్ బీ ఇంప్లిమెంటింగ్? ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్. So lawmakers are called as legislatures, law implementers are called as executives. Someone should be there, no inspector. So you people made the law and you people are implementing the law. Whether you are implementing according to the law or not, one inspector should see, no. Whether there is a parking board, whether you are going to keep the bike on the parking board or no parking board, one person should be there, no. That person is called as judiciary. Whether implementation which is happening is as per the law or not, that is the main duty of judiciary. However the government is running, whatever the government is running, the government should run or the government should implement the law according to the provisions of the law. Who should check? Inspector should check. That inspector is called as judiciary. So in that way, there is proper separation of power, legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature will be making the laws, executive will be implementing the laws, the judiciary will be checking whether the executive is going to implement according to the provisions of the legislature or not. So hence three are important bodies, three are called as separation of powers: legislature, executive and judiciary. Fundamental rights, which is most important. There are three types of rights will be there. There are three types of rights will be there. One is called as human rights, manava hakkulu, human rights. Being a human being, I will have basic rights. Like what? When I am eating, no one should scratch my food. That is a human right. Basic human right. I should wear clothes. It is a human right. Being a human being, there is no requirement of fundamental. It's a human right. Being a human being, I have it. Living in a shelter is a human right. Wear clothes is a human right. Eating food is a human right. Roti, kapada, makan is called as human rights. So one is called as human right. There is natural right. There is natural right. Because the nature gave me. What nature gave me? Nature gave me live according to the dignity of human being. That is also called as natural rights. Nature gave me. Have very good air, have very good food, have very good drinking water. No one can make me to drink polluted water. That is my natural right. So other than human right, other than natural right, the third big right is called as fundamental rights, which is called as pradhamika hakkulu. Fundamental rights, very fundamental, very basic rights, which is guaranteed by the Constitution of India. That is the difference. Human rights is not guaranteed, natural rights is not guaranteed, but fundamental rights are guaranteed. Anyhow, natural rights are part of fundamental rights, human rights are part of, these all are embedded into fundamental rights. But I gave you the difference between human rights, natural rights and fundamental rights. The rights which are present in the Constitution are called as, or the fundamental rights which are given by the Constitution or guaranteed by the Constitution is called as fundamental rights. Like what? Right to equality. Every man on earth born equal. Every man on earth born equal and they deserve equal treatment. You should not give. They deserve equal treatment. They deserve equal treatment. You no need to treat equal. They deserve equal treatment. Right to equality. Irrespective of religion, race, caste, gender, place of birth. If public employment is there, everyone should have equal opportunity to enter into the public employment. There should not be any discrimination in the public employment. Why? Because public employment is government. Abolition of untouchability. How you can treat a man not to touch? Abolition of untouchability. Right to freedom of speech and expression. Right to form association. Right to form assembly. Right to movement. Right to residence. Right to profession. You cannot be detained illegally. Right to life and liberty. You cannot be evidence of yourself. There should not be double jeopardy. There should not be human trafficking. There should not be child labor. Religion can be chosen according to choice. You can manage the religious affairs. If you want to pay the amount in the form of tax to the religions, you are having the freedom to form your own religion. Minorities should be protected. Why? Because they are minorities. So article 29 and 30. If anyone is not following the Constitution, if anyone is not following the Constitution, mainly the fundamental rights which are present in the Constitution, there is something called as a medicine, which is called as constitutional remedies. In this way, so there are fundamental rights are provided, and how, if violation of fundamental rights happen, how I have to protect is also present in the form of constitutional remedies. Hence, fundamental rights are embedded in the Constitution of India. We copied it from America, which is called as Bill of Rights. The first country which had mentioned about the fundamental rights in the world is Bill of Rights, and we copied. So American Constitution is having Bill of Rights. Similarly, we will also have the rights which are called as fundamental rights. So there is federalism, there is parliamentary form of government, there is separation of powers, there is fundamental rights, same thing. So there is federalism, there is proper division of center, there is proper division of state, and there are some center and state. There is parliamentary form of government. Parliament is nothing but Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but the government is mainly because of Lok Sabha. Then we have separation of power, which is called as legislature, which is called as executive, which is called as judiciary. Separation of powers. And fundamental rights from Article 12 to Article 35, which is embedded in the Constitution, is called as fundamental rights. You don't remember about articles, slowly you will remember. So very basic rights which are present, which are given to Indian citizens who are living in India by the Constitution of India is called as fundamental rights. The next is secularism. Secularism, Article 25, 26, 27, 28. These 4 articles, 25, 26, 27, 28, together you can write. Article 25, 26, 27, 28 guarantees for every individual, to choose the religion of his choice. To choose the religion of his choice. To manage the religious affairs. To own the religion. To promote the religion. To propagate the religion. To profess the religion. To consign the religion. Anything. It is a choice of individual. No one can stop him from following any religion, or no one can force him to follow the religion. It's completely individual choice. It's completely individual choice, which is embedded in the Article 25, 26, 27, 28 together. In original polity classes will happen, no? There I will add body. Means now I am giving you the structure. Then we will add lungs what, heart what, liver what, kidney what. One we will add. First you understand the structure. Like this the structure is there. Secularism. Every individual will be having the choice to choose their religion. So there is a number of, I have the choice to choose one. That is called as secularism. But there are 2 varieties of secularisms are there. One variety is called as Western form of secularism. Other is called as Indian form of secularism. 2 चीज होता है, एक का नाम है वेस्टर्न फॉर्म ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म, दूसरा का नाम है इंडियन फॉर्म ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म. So again secularisms are 2 varieties. One is West, remember the map. West means Europe. When I use the word West means Europe and North America. So West. There is Western form of secularism. What is the Western form of secularism? Understand this. State means governing body is called as state. State, Rashtrangam. State means a political administrative system. State means the governing body is called as state. In Western form of religion, state will not have any powers. State will not have any rights. State will not involve voluntarily in the affairs of religion. We are giving iftar dinner. We are giving subsidy for Manas Sarovar pilgrim. We are giving subsidy for those who are going for Jerusalem. That means state is involving. Why you will give people's money? It is his choice of religion. So if you want to go to Jerusalem, if you want to go to Manas Sarovar Hindu pilgrimage, or if you want to go to this Makkah Medina, if you want to go to Makkah Medina, it is his choice. Why you are giving people's money? So Indian form of secularism will tell that state will involve in religious affairs, but state will see all the religions equally. Understand this. So 2 forms of secularisms are there. One secularism is called as Western form of secularism. Other form is called as Indian form of secularism. Western form of secularism means state will not involve in religion. Means I am least bother. What is your church? What is your temple? What is your mosque? Where you are going? I am least bothered. I will not involve. I will not give you security also. I don't want your money also. Tirumala Tirupati money is going where? Government. Means Western form of secularism, I don't want your money. I will not involve. You manage by yourselves. So state is not going to involve in the affairs of religion. It's called as Western form of secularism. Indian form of secularism, state will involve in religion. At Ramazan time, the government will give dinner. At Christmas time, the government will give Christmas party. So that means state is involving in religion. But the state will see all the religions equally. State will involve in religion, but state will look at all religions equally. That particular form of secularism is called as Indian form of secularism. So understand, that is a major difference. Western form of secularism, Indian form of secularism. One example. The first amendment of the US Constitution, first constitutional amendment, very first constitutional amendment. We also have nearly 120 constitutional amendments. The very first constitutional amendment to the United States of America Constitution tells that prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibit the free exercise of religion. So first constitutional amendment act itself told that the state will not involve in the affairs of religion. It is their choice to choose their own religion. The first constitutional amendment of USA told that state will not involve. That is called as Western form of secularism. In the USA, the separation between the state and the religion means that neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. But in India, what will happen? In the affairs of state, religion will involve. In the affairs of state, religion will involve. For example, Ayodhya temple inauguration. He is Prime Minister of India. He is not the Prime Minister of Hindus. So Ayodhya inauguration, if it is Western form of secularism, then Narendra Modi should not inaugurate Ayodhya. But it is Indian form of secularism, so Narendra Modi can go and inaugurate the Ayodhya form of religion. If we adopted Western form of secularism, then Narendra Modi will not be allowed to enter into or to inaugurate the Ayodhya temple. In that way, see, it's a state, he is not an individual. Narendra Modi is not an individual. Narendra Modi is a state. Narendra Modi is a Prime Minister of India. He is lesser Narendra Modi, more of Prime Minister. It is because of his position where he is sitting is important. So being the Prime Minister of India, but it is accepted. Why? Because we are following what model? Indian form of secularism. If we had Western form of secularism and he went for inauguration of Ayodhya, then it would be 100% unconstitutional. So why it was not considered as unconstitutional? Because we have Indian form of secularism. According to Indian form of secularism, all the religions are equal and the state can also involve into the affairs of religion. Here comes the question. So why then everyone are questioning the Narendra Modi? Means he went for inauguration of Ayodhya temple, then why he didn't for inauguration of masjid? If then he should also go for inauguration of masjid also, no. So why? Because he is not the Prime Minister of Hindus, he is the Prime Minister of Indian citizens. Prime Minister of Indian citizens means a combination of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, everyone. So that is the major difference, Western form of secularism and Indian form of secularism. Rule of law and equality before law, equal protection of law, equality before law and equal protection of law. Two rule of laws are there. One is called as equality before law, equal protection of law. Equality before law means whatever may be the condition, I am going to treat them equally is called as equality before law, which is British model. Equal protection of law means I will treat equally when they are in equal circumstances. I will treat them equally when there are equality in status. So why we are giving reservation? Because we adopted equal protection of law. According to equal protection of law, equal treatment will be applicable if and only if they are equal. But SC communities are not equal in Indian villages. ST communities are not equal. Why? Because they are from forests. Minorities are unrepresented. Hence, there is a need for special care. So, we will provide them special care till they become equal. But once they become equal, we will shift to equality before law. According to equality before law, there will be equal treatment for everyone. But according to equal protection of law, equality will be there when they are. So that is equal protection of law and equality before the. I should not use public money. I should not do it. I should not do it. They offered. I went as an individual. They offered me as an individual Joe Biden. They didn't offer me as a president of America. And if I also put public money into it, it is illegal. As individual level, I can go if they offer, but I should not do it.
No, sir. White House offered it, but Muslims are rejected because of the Palestinian war.
Sometimes what happened, sometimes in order to get the confidence of the people, when they are feeling that they are being discriminated, sometimes when they feel themselves are no one is caring about us, then there can be a special provision. Sometimes the other side of people also will accept it. So White House should not do it as per the rule of law, but why they do sometimes, because to get the confidence, that is also important. In fact, that is a good step. Why? Because it is like making the minorities to believe that you are not isolated, you are also part of the system. For example, Ambedkar told, the country will flourish. The country will flourish when the minorities are more happy than the majority. So minorities should not feel, if in a classroom is there, if 5 people are there and 45 people are there, if 5 people are isolated, then the classroom is a combination of 50 people. If the combination is not only about 45, it's not only about 5 also. So these 5 people should be more focused. Why? Because they generally feel that they are isolated because of their identity. If I am separate, you all are same. So generally I will feel what? I am isolated, all are same, I am different. So when you care about them, obviously these people will be happy. Why? Because they are majority. But these minorities, they feel themselves as isolated because of their identity. When you care them and bring them equal to them, then these people who are vulnerable or who are exploited, who are marginalized, they feel more protected, they feel more happy. That is called as real democracy according to B.R. Ambedkar. Anyhow, these 45 people will be happy. So I am caring about these 5 people who are been marginalized. That is, leaders want what? Marginalized sections. Leaders want what? Vulnerable sections. Leader means who is making the voice for the minorities. Minorities means not Muslims. Minorities means whatever it may be. In a classroom, who doesn't know how to write an answer, he is a minority. Everyone are writing good answer, he is not having good answer. అందరి పొలాల్లో మొలకలు వచ్చాయి, నా పొలాల్లో అసలు మొలకలు రావట్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఆ పొలాల్లో మనం ఏం చేయాలి? మొలకలు వచ్చేలా చేయాలన్నమాట. అప్పుడు అది స్టేట్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్స్ డ్యూటీ. లెంతియెస్ట్ రిటన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. It is written constitution. I will tell you the difference between British and Indian. It will be confusing, understand it. British constitution is unwritten constitution. Britain constitution is unwritten constitution. Indian constitution is written constitution. What is the difference, sir? Means what I did in India, I had written each and everything. So that I can open the book and I can run the country according to the what is written. Whereas in Britain, what happened? They didn't written anything. There is nothing called as a system. There is nothing called as a written document. But how they will follow, sir? They will make the parliamentary laws. So it will be whatever is coming, it will be becoming a law. So we have to follow according to the law. So it is not fixed like us. That is the difference. It is not fixed like us. If any constitutional amendment act is happening, again we will write in this book only. So it's a fixed book. That fixed is called as written. That fixed nature is called as written. If that fixed nature is not present, means unwritten. So Britain what? Unfixed. It is not fixed. Why? Because whatever the laws are making, it is adding, but they are not embedded into one particular format. That is unwritten constitution of Britain. This is written format of. So we have a lengthiest written constitution. No country in the world had clearly written each and every article, each and every provision in detail except Indian constitution. Hence we appreciate the Indian constitution saying that it is the lengthiest written constitution. These are the major provisions of ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఎన్నైనా సార్ అంటే ఇంకా ఉన్నాయి, కానీ ఒక 8th క్లాస్ స్టూడెంట్స్కి బేసిక్ లెవెల్లో ఎంత అర్థం అవ్వాలో అంత ఉన్నాయి అన్నమాట. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద బేసిక్ ప్రొవిజన్స్ ఆఫ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. వన్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ అస్ మీన్స్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ప్రొవిజన్స్. ఫెడరలిజం, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, secularism, lengthiest written constitution.